Um, One thing that I love about you, by the way, as we can see from this conversation, that you are an amazing conversationalist and you're a great networker. Uh, Obviously, that helps you a lot. That helps you, when you're going out there, when you are pitching your product, when you're passionate about what you do. What if someone doesn't have that? Because most of the startup people, and you already know this, they're mostly like nerdy. They're mostly, they have hard time talking. So, like, how important is this skill, and what can other people do who don't have this?
Okay. Um, so that's a very tough question because
Yeah,
I was an introvert for the majority of my life, and I'm definitely still very introverted. But when it comes to talking about things that I'm passionate about, that I care about,
yeah.
that kind of falls away. It
Dude,
disappears.
dude, cutting you off, I just want listeners to know because you're saying you're very introverted. I remember being at Camp YC and you were like getting everyone ramped up on freaking CBD coffee. Like I remember we just walked in there and everyone was like drinking, and you were like going like person to person, and like I don't know. I think I thought you were such a charismatic person. Uh, because I mean,
Thank you.
obviously YC is like when you go there, you like these people like you've looked up to, like you saw Micah Seibel, like freaking $1 billion exit, and
Yeah,
you were like, hey man, want to have a CBD coffee? And you're like kind of, I don't know. I thought you were pretty
yeah.
extroverted. I would have never guessed that, but
But like the cure to that, the reason I was able to conjure that level of extroversion was because I was talking about something that I cared about,
okay,
something that I was knowledgeable about, that I was passionate about. And so if you ask me to do the same thing about like sports, I don't care about sports at all. So I can't
right,
I can't even listen to a conversation. I want to go into a corner and like, open up Twitter or something like that. It's not my jam. So I would say to those who feel introverted, like just try talking about things that you care about, that you're passionate about, and you'll just find that it comes out. And if you're talking to people who are also interested, they'll just ask and they'll be like, "So how did that work? And why is
right,
it this way? And how did it get that way?" And you'll just find that they almost bring it out of you. And in the same way that like Sabi, you ask really great questions, right?
right,
And so like one of the reasons why it might seem like I have a lot of energy to talk is because there's just some things that are interesting to me and that are more impressive or more exciting than the tension that I get from um, being an introvert.
right,
So for those that are more introverted, I would again try to find things that you can talk about to people who like or share similar interests, and like don't force yourself to have conversations about things you don't like, right? Like if someone's like you're not an extrovert, or an introvert shouldn't find themselves obligated to like learn how to talk about sports just because you want to learn how to talk about sports. Like that's not your thing. Like don't waste your time. Life's too short.
right.
Um, so yeah, if you talk about something that you care about that comes from the heart, you'll have no problem holding and having a conversation. But on the other hand, of like the value of being extroverted or well networked, I have to give two shout outs here. One to Peer Rich, um, who basically like proved to me, or he's a networker far beyond what I have. And he also considers himself an introvert, but he can just have amazing conversations with people of all different kinds of fields. And his enthusiasm, his excitement, his desire to just like meet new founders and meet other like-minded people is inspirational to me. I love it. And then Ruben Harris from Career Karma. That guy he's one of the hardest working people that I know. And also he's always networking, he's always hustling, and he's always discussing things that he's an expert in and that's on his mind. And I think he taught me that it's never a bad thing ever to be a thought leader or to talk about things that you have expertise in, because not only do you get to have meaningful conversations with other people who are of that level of expertise, and by doing so, you sharpen and you evolve your knowledge, your understanding, because by articulating yourself well, other people can um, pose questions or refine what you're getting at. And as a group of experts, you all learn together, you kind of elevate one another. He also taught me the value of like having your perspectives out there, because then other people will find what you're doing to be important and exciting and meaningful, and then you might inspire other people. So it was sort of
Right.
like, again, being able to carry the torch. So in terms of how important it is, it's not important to talk about things that you don't care about, right?
Right.
Like, don't force yourself to have conversations about the weather or sports. But if it's something that is important to you, and that you're meaningfully not bad at, you don't even have to be good at it, but like you just not bad at, then I would encourage you to have conversations about those things. Because if you find yourself having unlimited capacity to talk about these things, then it might be you have a strength there. You might have a superpower there. You might not be as introverted as you thought. And other people will want to associate with you. You'll build a name for yourself, and it'll be easier to be an entrepreneur. or an expert, once people know that you know what you're talking about, once you can ask these and answer these meaningful questions, people will want to come to work with you because they know you know what you're talking about. And
Right.
that's super, super important. That'll give you a ton of leverage.
Right.